So something we should have gotten already has been delayed for October. Now, I would say it's probably going to be dropping in the middle of October, where it fits, where obviously Geno releases, then we've got the new Workshop Brilliant Light that then leads into Isla, of course, releasing, being the last piece of content before the half anniversary. Now, with solo leveling Arise, power level is always going to be creeping up and up and up, right? We already see it right now with the dungeons when it comes to the what's it called, Power of Strong, right? So we're now at that 1,000,000 power level. Now, for the most part, most of us, to the majority of the player base, are not there. I mean, the Giga Whales are probably around about the 900k region, of course, or above it, 950. So it's only a small percentage that can really cater to, this type of power level. Nothing else in the game have we seen this type of power level, but going forward, this is going to be the norm. And so through that, we are going to need more things from the developers' end to help us out, keep up with that power creeping and making it so that we can get to a certain margin to where these fights are at least doable. So that's something that we're going to have to cater to, and with what's to come, it seems that that is exactly what the developers are lining up in terms of some additional kind of artifacts, if you want to call it that, and I'll get into what I mean by that. So obviously with the power creep that we've had recently, or in the past couple of updates, to get a huge progression, these artifacts came in with being higher level, providing a lot more stats, and so Workshop of Brilliant Light was kind of like the only and best way to really cater to the big jump. Now, it's fair to say that whenever new artifacts get released and it's at a much higher level, this was pretty much the cream of the crop to give us that huge increase in our power level, right? Can't deny that. And so we're kind of getting the same thing again when the next set of Workshop of Brilliant Light releases, and it's not going to be, well, I mean, no, it's still classes as artifacts, but they're going to be called CORES, meaning we are going to be applying CORES to our characters. This is it. We got a glimpse of what the developers are working on, what the next Workshop of Brilliant Light is going to be kind of circled around in terms of the boss. It's going to be Baron, given they've pushed it for October because of issues again, but they've informed us and they've told us that this is pretty much going to be the next item that we can gain from the Workshop of Brilliant Light to then apply onto our characters. Now, the cool thing about this is that, like I said, they are kind of like artifacts, but apparently there's going to be some sort of gimmick to these. And so with each of these cores, it's going to be related to a demon, or the first demons that they choose to release, which will correlate into the Workshop of Brilliant Light. Now, the demons in solo leveling, solo leveling that we know of, that is going to be in the Workshop of Brilliant Light, unless things change. It's going to be, was it Metis, Hazel, and then Baron? I think those are going to be the 3 bosses, unless they do floor 25 in a different way. But if they do that, then we can expect 3 cores to be dropping, because again, each core has its own gimmick and it's related to each demons. And so it kind of begs the question on what these cores are going to be providing in terms of stat wise. What more could we get out of them? But a clear indication is that these are going to be certain artifacts that are going to be doing something different, but ultimately will be giving us that boost in terms of giving us a great deal of power increase. So yeah, coming back to the demons, so I just kind of wanted to see, I just kind of wanted to put like a list of demons on the screen and just kind of see what we're working with. So it really is going to be these 3, as far as we're aware. Oh wait, Kaizel. Interesting. Kaizel might be a boss, but then again, they can fit in the Kaizel boss with Baron. To be fair, yeah, no, okay, so if there is going to be 4 bosses, it's going to be interesting on how they do this new set of Workshop of Brilliant Light. Now, I don't know if they're going to commit to only just doing 2 cores as they just showed, or if there's going to be multiple cores in relations to the gimmick for each of the bosses. I mean, they could easily go down that route if they choose to. But yeah, I don't know how they'll do 4 bosses, because obviously as it stands right now with the current Workshop of Brilliant Light, you've got 2 bosses, and then you got the main boss. So I don't know if they'll exclude Kaiser, which I feel like they should do. Or I mean, they could technically put the Kaiser and the Baron fight together, right? That could be it. And then Meters will be in the first floor, and then Azor will be in the second floor for the bosses, and then Baron and Kaiser will be the final boss, I guess. And then through that, we'll be able to earn cores. Burning Square and Burning Overpass to get buffs, those are going to be left same when it comes to the new Workshop Brilliant Light, if you guys didn't know. So with all of that, it kind of gives me vibes from Honkai Star Rail. So in Honkai Star Rail, it's fairly similar. You know, you've got, I mean, to be fair, it's kind of general for all gacha games, right? You know, you got your 2-piece, you got your 4-piece. If you have a 2-piece, it will give you a certain stat boost. If you have a 4-piece, it will increase it and make it that better, right? We've seen this before. Nothing, you know, nothing new, of course. But if you head down, because Honkai Star Rail does have something in a way kind of similar to this, and it also works in a very similar fashion to where how you obtain it, because it also does require for you to do a separate game mode where you have to go through stages to then, if you complete the first elite boss, then you can obtain these rewards. If you beat the second elite boss, then you can obtain these rewards, and if you beat the boss, you can furthermore obtain these rewards. So it kind of works in that similar way, because if you look at it, this is the first elite boss, or first boss, second boss, final boss, right? So it's got that, it's that similarity. And the way these are working is that there's actually 2 pieces to them, whereas in Solo Leveling it might just, well, they've only specified the core, so it's probably just going to be the orb itself that we're just going to be catering to. But by running a 2-piece on Honkai Star Rail, as you guys can see, it's providing some uniqueness to it, to where, for example, if we apply the first one by applying 2-piece, but in Solo Leveling's case it's going to be just the core itself. Increase the wearer's defense by 15%. When the wearer's effect hit rate is 50% or higher, the wearer gains an extra 50% defense. So I assume there's going to be some sort of uniqueness gimmick to it in terms of what we're seeing right here. So I say. So an example, increase the wearer's crit rate by 8%. When the wearer's current crit rate reaches 50% or higher, the wearer's ultimate and follow-up attacks damage increase to 15%. They can quite easily do this on Solo Leveling. So this is why, you know, I assume this is something that some additional things that we can get through the cores that's going to have some sort of unique gimmick to it. Of course, maybe they might throw in some element bonuses in there. Who knows? Going off from some of the demons, possibly. I don't know. Also, the look of the cores, right? Maybe, I don't know. But it'll be interesting to see. But either way, the key thing to take away from all of this is that the next set of Workshop of Brilliant Light is releasing something different that we certainly need to cater to, that will give us a great leap in terms of power level to furthermore cater to the newer piece of content. And so from that, we know that the darker element is going to be catered to, and so I'm pretty sure most of us are already there, or we're kind of working on it. But make sure that if you have the Plum Sword, if you've got the Moon Shadow Dagger weapons, if you've got the Scythe, you know, if make sure that your dark weapons are good to go. Level 100, if you are able to, just make sure that your dark weapons are set and ready to rock and roll. In terms of what the secondary element is, it's either going to be light or wind. And fire now is potentially in the mix if they cater to fire element for Gino. We spoke about that previously, so you know, I'm just putting that out there. But dark for sure is in the mix now. And so obviously make sure that your dark weapons at the very least is good and rocking and rolling. I mean, with dark hunters, I mean, it's kind of up in the air, because I know some people aren't really catering to Harper and Charlotte, although considering the Workshop of Brilliant Light and the cores and all that, it's not, I wouldn't say it's kind of like forcing you, but like you could, I mean, well then again, you could wait until Isla releases at the end of October to then get these girls through the custom draw rate, if that's what you want to do. That way you can fully maximize your dark element, and then hopefully that will gradually help you through the Workshop of Brilliant Light more easier. But I guess saying all of that, it really comes down to whether or not if they're going to nerf the power level for the Workshop of Brilliant Light being the newest one, because it is extremely high up there, to where the Baron one easy is this power level, which is ridiculous. So yeah, hopefully they do reconsider and kind of do how things they are doing it with Vulcan, of course.